So, I initially uh wasn't really gonna make well actually I was gonna make this video, but I just didn't know exactly how to put this. Um, if you guys hadn't realized, I am at a new place and everything. If you I'm sure a lot of you watched my progression video. I'm glad that the most of y'all did, people who actually watched me. Despite the fact that I said, I'm gonna be doing more videos and everything. And now I am. A lot of things happened outside of this platform that it's been hitting me home because if I'm being real, um the lot of us on this planet haven't had a lot of time to grieve over the death of Akira Toriyama and grieve over the death of many other people that we have fond memories of anime over. Uh, I'd like to say just after Akira Toriyama passed, the news of him passing, we had found out that the singer who did the song the second ending theme to Inuyasha. For those of you who don't know that song, what what is it exactly called? Because I have it. I have it in my music. Um, and I love that song to death. Um, what was it? What was it? It's something. Oh my goodness. I can't be drawing a blank every time I bring up something because some of y'all not gonna understand what I'm talking about. But regardless of that, yeah, it's one of those songs, and I used to listen to that song every time. You know what I'm saying? I would get up um to go to school in the morning when I was a kid. It would come on every time because they would show Inuyasha early in the morning at like 6 o'clock or something. This whole thing regarding the Quiet on the Set documentary, and then to top it all off, the stuff going on with P Diddy and this talk of sex trafficking and things of that nature, and then go back on what Cat Williams said before all of this is just it's funny how we like to dismiss these things to be true, these things to, just be another attention grab or things of that nature, when in reality it's true. It was true. And I was just absorbing all this and just you know what I'm saying, and just taking it in. Because despite the fact that, there are like reaction requests in the Discord, they're not reaction requests I've been in the mood to do. Like some of I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them are boring. It's videos that I've already done, videos that like are just pretty much redundant, and it's just like my heart right now is screaming Dragon Ball, and it's just because of what um I have been just in taking and everything. Is just I've been observing a lot, and the thing that kind of made me upset in regards to that is just like now that Akira Toriyama passed away, now motherfuckers want to watch Dragon Ball, the old, like the very beginning Dragon Ball. And me and Urban Ninja had talked about that early in the morning because I had addressed it to him because people, especially black folk who grew up with DBZ, only watched DBZ and never gave Dragon Ball a chance. And it's just like how can and my whole opinion was how can you call yourself a DBZ, a Dragon Ball fan? How can you then go on to say that you know everything about it when you've never even watched Dragon Ball? How can you sit here and say that you are a fan of this IP when you don't even know how Goku met his friends? Because you thought that he met them when he was an adult and everything. How do you think he met Chi-Chi? How do you think they got married? You're like it's amazing to me that like and it definitely shows. I talked to another person that was on Instagram that was because he had mentioned the same thing, and it was a follower who one I follow. She is a Dragon Ball fan, and she did a live talking about why dudes like to dismiss. It's so easy to dismiss women that enjoy anime and things of that nature and try to and I made videos about this like and how weird and dumb it is to be quizzing women who like anime to see whether or not that they're real anime fans. Like who are you to tell somebody who's an anime fan and who isn't? Just because you in your bias insecurity, you've never seen or dealt with a woman when you were younger that enjoyed the same thing you enjoyed. So you think it doesn't exist and you think they're just doing it because it's a fad, because it's an attention grab. That's that's very sad to think that that's the only way your mind can go through despite the fact that you've graduated. We've all graduated from high school. We're grown adults now and that's how you think. And but it's also like the only thing that you like in anime is fighting because that was the only thing that black folk, especially black dudes, young black dudes were ever talking about was the fighting. When there is so much about Dragon Ball outside of the fighting that's there. There is so much lore. There's so much like mystical things and stories going on in the Dragon Ball world. Like if you were even paying attention, the latest project that Akira Toriyama made, Sandland, takes place in that same world. But you wouldn't know that because you're so focused on DBZ. All you care about DBZ because of the fighting. That's all you know about. When there was fighting in Dragon Ball. But you thought that it was weak shit because Goku was a little kid. He's a little kid. Why the fuck would I watch a little kid? Tell me you're incompetent without telling me you're incompetent. Let's just say that. Just tell me you are like unable to appreciate stuff that doesn't consist of people going at it without telling me. That's and you know what? And I said this before. That's pretty much the reason why a lot of the women who like anime don't want to deal with guys, especially black dudes who claim that they are anime fans or just say that they're anime fans because instead of letting them be and enjoying them for who they are, you will either gaslight them or belittle them and try to make it seem like they're lying. You do these toxic things and then you cry and whine and complain to dudes who aren't like that that the anime women are not here anymore, like they're gone or they're choosing non-anime fans. They're choosing white guys to be with. You want to know why they're choosing them? It's because they're not ridiculing them. They're not annoying them. And despite the fact that there's people going to be people in his comments saying that, "Oh, that's not true. Oh, we don't care about them." Bullshit. Because if you didn't, you would not be doing the things that you're doing. You won't be making posts, or DMing people in group chats stating that like something wrong with the anime women. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that you just flat out don't like them, but at the same time you want them around because you want someone to relate with, yet you don't give them a chance for them to relate with you because you're so easy to just make assumptions and try to prove that this is your thing when it could be y'all's thing. You're so busy to try to prove that it's like it can only be something that you mess with. But you can't accept the fact that there's someone else that likes the same things that you like, but they have a difference of opinion, or they express it a little more differently than you do, and you just don't like it. For if that's your way of thinking, you need to do some growing up. You got some growing up to do mentally and expand your mind. Now, outside of that, because I've been thinking about that a lot. I really have because it just pains me to see that it takes for a man to pass away in order for people to really look at other things outside than what they have grown up with, they grew up with, or they dealt with, or what they remember. We're not high schools anymore. That part of our life is over. It's been over. You can move on. You should move on and be a better person, a better anime fan, rather than just make assumptions. Oh, they don't like us. They're not here. You have to let them be just like how you want them to let you be. Let you express yourself the way you should. Let them be who they are. Just like how you expect them to let you be who you are. Once motherfuckers do that, things will be better. And maybe then the anime women, the women who enjoy anime, probably will choose anime nerds. Maybe they will, but we got to get our act together. Like I said, aside from all that, right? This whole thing regarding Quiet on the Set disturbed me a lot, actually. This is coming from a guy whose entire childhood has been about cartoons. My favorite show was Kablam on Nickelodeon. And then when they took that off the air, I was very sad. I mean, we still had Rugrats and SpongeBob and things of that nature, but now I regret the fact that I gave my time to all that. Kind of. I regret the fact that I gave my time to these live action shows because these children were suffering. These children weren't safe among those adults. They were not safe. And the parents of these children should be ashamed of themselves for trying to make a quick buck off of their kid when all it did was sever the ties with their children. And while some of them still have a kind of a connection with their kids, it wasn't as like as it was before, and it's definitely not going to be as strong as it should. It's just really sad. And before people saw, because I know that there's a lot of people saying, the why are they saying things now? If you realize and understand the point of power and the sick people who had it, who had money to make people shut up, who had the power to to silence people, to dismiss court cases. If you understand that, you understand why it took this long. Back in the 90s, celebrities were powerful. People who had money had power. The only reason why it's going to be out right now is because they lost that power. They got old, they got sloppy. And the difference is the people who have been hurt, they didn't stop fighting. They kept going. They kept making sure that people knew the truth. That's why this documentary came out. That's why the whole thing with P. Diddy has come out, is because these people who had the power, who had all this fame and fortune and stuff, time was up. Like Cat Williams said, the time was up for all of them. All lies will be exposed. These celebrities that y'all worship so much aren't what you think they are. Master Real Sakurai does not trust any celebrity that y'all love. The only two comedians that y'all call celebrities that I love in my heart are the people who tell the truth. And those two people are Dave Chappelle and Cat. That's right, I said it. Everybody else, no. To hell with to Tiffany Haddish, to hell with Kevin Hart. I'm sorry. I don't care. Because y'all tried to say that these people were haters. They were jealous. They were this, they were that. No, they weren't. They were telling the truth about all of y'all and how y'all moved and how y'all acted. And now that one of the most powerful people in the music industry is going down, now y'all silent. You're silent, but guess who's roaring loudly? Those two people. Because they ain't got nothing to hide. They never had anything to hide. Even when people were making lies about them, they never had anything to hide. And I respect that about them. But y'all have a lot to hide. And the sad thing is, people turn a blind eye when y'all make content. And no, I do not believe in separating the art from the artist. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, but I made liked "I Believe I Can Fly" by R. Kelly, but I haven't listened to that song since he got exposed and put in jail. I don't listen to P. Diddy songs. And yeah, I made a post on my Instagram putting one of his songs in there, but that was because out of a joke. People calling him the Diddler. The Diddler's on the run. The time is up for a lot of these evil people. It's high time people started living in the truth instead of a lie. And I and that's been on my spirit. That's been on my heart for a very long while now. That's why I've been so quiet and I haven't been posting anything, is because I wanted to get that out, but I just didn't know how to start, you know? I didn't know how to word these words. But now that I have and I got them out of my head, it's just here it is. While I'm wearing this Dragon Ball shirt, which I love a lot. So that's how I feel. That's how I've been feeling. And I know there's more news going to be coming out about these certain things. I realize that. I'm not surprised. At this point, I just want all of them to disappear. People who made things so hard for these children, the minors who've been abused by these celebrities and sold. I want it all. I just want them to be done, disappear. I'm sorry, but you can't argue with a court document, a legal document. You can't argue with that, especially if there's so much evidence on you. I don't care what you say. Aside from all that, let's go back to the nerd thing. I always say on this channel to never be afraid to be a nerd, but I've also said to not shut out nerds who want to be themselves. And we cannot sit here and say that we support nerds, yet we turn a blind eye or turn the other cheek in regards to women who like anime. Because just because you're not attracted to them or just because you don't see a lot of them doesn't mean they don't exist. They're just in their spaces right now because we've pretty much told them that like they're not really real. We pretty much told them that. And we pretty much stated like the only thing that we care about is like the fighting in anime. We don't watch anything else, which is just ludicrous. And the dudes that have said that, there's a reason why you're going through what you're going through. There's a reason. There's a reason why you can't get those kind of women. It's because that's all you're letting yourself be. And despite the fact that I am a DBZ fan, but I'm more than that. I'm a DB fan. I'm a DBZ fan. I'm a DBGT fan. I'm a DBS fan. But I'm also a Bleach fan. I'm also an Inuyasha fan. I'm also a Zatch Bell fan. I'm a Hamtaro fan. Dude, I'm a High School DxD fan. I'm a Konosuba fan. I am a fan of other animes. I gave My Hero Academia a try, and before y'all go on about that shit, yeah, I gave it a try. I'm not interested. Not I think I'm not into it. I'm a fan of other animes, other than just the fighting. Some of us, not saying all, but some of us have got to look at different things and open our heads to different stuff rather than just the very thing that you grew up on. Yes, I get it. It's goaded. It's something that nobody can dispute. But here's the thing though, you can't say that you know everything about it and you don't watch the stuff that came before. And yeah, I get it. DBZ came first in America, but guess what? The DB was created first in Japan. So you in all aspects should give that a chance because it's the origin of Goku. Another thing, please can we please stop with the DMing women saying name your top five animes and then getting mad when they name their top five and it not being the animes that you watch. Can we stop that? Can we stop that? Because that's another one of the reasons. And you can't say that it doesn't exist. That some of y'all don't do this because you do. You do, and I've seen it. I've seen it. We cannot keep making these assumptions and these and being very judgmental of the women that that we want in our lives, because that's the reason why they're not coming towards us, because they know that just whatever they tell us, we're just gonna throw it in their face and try to make it seem like they don't know anything. No one wants to be belittled. Nobody. Nobody wants to be like nobody wants to be like that. I'm sure a lot of them had dealt with that enough in their previous life. Like why would you get that for somebody? Why would you put that on somebody? Why would you do that to somebody? Nobody should be doing that to anybody. Mm. I just wanted to iterate what I'm saying, is because it's been on my spirit for a minute. It's just like, y'all, we've got to stop doing this. And I get mad that when the women who really aren't good for us, who don't do us no good, we try to go to them and they don't really like us. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know them kind of women. Those are the women that we honestly should have avoided when we were younger. I sure as hell avoided them, because I already knew what it was. We have to stop making the assumption that every last woman that we know, we grew up with, is exactly the same as every other woman that we encounter. That's not right, because we wouldn't want that to be said to us, right? That's all I'm saying. Just have an open mind and be thoughtful, especially if you want something like that in your life. Oh, this has been my rant. This has been Master Sakurai. Y'all have a good day. Okay, stay safe. All right, peace.